Hi everyone, I wanted to show you my baby giant African land snails that hatched a week ago. So these are all 1 week old roughly. There are a couple of days variation, like I had one that hatched today. And as you can see, if you look on the lettuce leaf there, you can see one sitting at the top, and then next to where the piece of carrot is at the front, there's one under the next leaf. There are 8 in here at the moment. 3 are very active. The others are not as active yet, but they have been moving. Every time I check on them in the morning, they're in a different position. And if you look at the one I've just zoomed in on, if you can see that very pale grey line coming from the bottom of the shell, that's actually its little antenna, because they're very, very small. They're very weeny. They are smaller than the fingernail on my little finger. They're approximately about 5 millimeters length, roughly, maybe 4. They're very, very small. Some of them are only a couple of 2 or 3 millimeters, roughly, or something like that. They're very, very small. And yeah, they're doing great. I've got them in this little old ice cream tub, which has got air holes cut in the top, and I've got a temperature and humidity gauge that is attached to the roof, that hangs down into the tank to measure humidity levels and temperature. I'm keeping them at a constant temperature of around about 20-21 degrees centigrade. Currently their tank is at 21.3, and it tends to hover around between 20 and 21.3. Most of the time it's 21. And I find that they're doing very well with this, and their humidity level's good in the tank as well. It's currently at 80%, and they seem quite happy with that. And then what I've done, which you'll see in a sec, is I've filmed some footage and I've sped it up, because as you can see at normal speed you can't tell they're moving. So hopefully when you look at the next bit you'll see that they are moving around. So let's have a look. This is sped up 4 times, so I'm hoping you can tell that they're moving. If you look at the one that's at the bottom, roughly in the middle, you can see his little antenna bobbing backwards and forwards, and then the one on the leaf is starting to like walk around and move around. It is really hard to tell. I've sped this up 4 times. They are really slow. Can you see the one on the leaf? Can you see his 2 little antennae hanging out? He's just having a little look around and he's having a munch. I've been watching the leaves move because they're currently rasping on the mixed salad leaves that I've given them. There's some red cabbage in there, some carrot, plenty of calcium. I've got some calcium biscuits in there that I've made, and I've sprinkled calcium on the carrots. There's a bit of cucumber if they need some moisture, because I can't put a water bowl in the tank at the minute, because that would be too dangerous. They would all drown in it. So I've put the cucumber in to give them moisture, but they should be perfectly fine as long as I keep the tub sprayed and keep the humidity levels right. They should be perfectly fine. But yeah, they're doing very well. These are 2 of the bigger ones, and then there's one that's bigger than these. I've got one that hatched first, and it's like twice the size of the smaller ones, whereas these are about double the size. No, I'd say these are double the size of the smallest ones, and then the other one is like triple the size of the smallest ones, so it's a little bit bigger than these. But it wanders around and I can't find it at the minute. It's under the sphagnum moss somewhere, and I'm not going to go digging around in there because I'm pretty much trying to leave them alone at the minute. So what I did is I put some substrate in from their hatching tank. I've put some sphagnum moss in at one end, and then at the other end, this end, is where I've got a lot of the food and the calcium, but then I've also got food spread throughout the tank, so it's easy for them to find food, because I don't want them wasting lots of energy. And then what I'm going to do in a bit is sprinkle just a little bit of calcium powder on the fresh leaves I've just put in, because I've just changed the leaves, and I'm putting a bit of calcium powder on them just to make sure they're getting that supply of calcium, because their requirements for calcium at this stage is quite high, because obviously they've got to put down that first layer of calcium in their shells, because when they're born their shells are see-through and very delicate, so they need lots of calcium at the minute because they're going to be growing rapidly, and also so they can put those layers of calcium down in their shells to protect them. The one that's on the lettuce at the top, shell looks a bit strange at the minute because it's obviously got calcium deposits here and there, but it's not all over just yet. And also I've found a couple of them still have a bit of eggshell stuck to their backs, like the back of their shell. That'll come off over time or get nibbled off by their friends, so I'm not worried. And like I said, I'm not messing with them or anything because they're so tiny, they're very fragile. So literally what I'm doing is, as soon as I start to see the eggs starting to hatch, they get placed in here. This is the nursery, and this is week 1. Hope you enjoyed this little snail update. I'll try and put some more speeded up footage on so you can see. Okay, so in this footage, excuse the wiggle at the front, I'll just get my camera in the right place. Can you see where the skull-shaped calcium biscuit is? And can you see there's a piece of lettuce, and then in front of the piece of lettuce near the skull-shaped calcium biscuit, there's 2 little blobs. That's 2 little snails that are freshly hatched. And if you look, you'll see one in a minute is going to crawl over the top of the other one. This was filmed on day 1, so you can see they've grown already. There he goes. Whee! There he goes. And he crawled over his sibling and then crawled off. So as you can see, they were very, very weeny when they first hatched. Like I said, this is day 1, and now they're 1 week old. I will try and catch more footage of them moving, and I'll do weekly updates so you can see how fast they grow and how they're doing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little sneak peek at the snails. Hope you enjoyed this video. Once I see which ones are going to obviously reach maturity and are fully grown, then I'll get you guys to help me choose names. Thank you for watching, and see you soon. Bye for now.